Old school. When I was a younger man, I was a wise ass. A pain in the ass deserved a kick in the ass. I always had a smart answer, a quick put down, a smug, sarcastic outlook. I no longer hold those attitudes. Something happened on the way to growing up and growing old. My first year of teaching was in East Harlem, New York City. I am white, my students were not. I was a wise-ass New York City guy. Things that bothered my colleagues never really challenged me. I was assigned 30 children. Only 22 of them showed up. It bees that way in East Harlem. It was a warm September morning. I stood at the head of the class and took in those wonderful, incredible, beautiful, neglected, underfed, underserved, undereducated, deserving children. They came all polished, Vaselined, buffed, and ready for what? I thought a lot about expectations. What the hell does a 12-year-old, 6th grader know about expectations? Shit. That's what they know. Shit. It occurred to me on that inner city warm September morn that it was my mission to create a small, safe, welcoming world in East Harlem, New York City that contained a hint of expectation. They gave me a class of previously unruly children, the bad kids. I was 19, unruly and bad. We saw eye to eye on most issues. I accepted their attitudes, which were mostly sucky on any given day, and held elements of surly, angry, hungry, testing, frightened, human. They put up with me when I came in red-eyed, hungover, and in no mood. Only enough food at the end of the month for the younger siblings. There were always younger siblings. So they came in because it was warmer in school than it was in the shitholes they lived in East Harlem. East Harlem in the 60s was plug ugly. They told me the welfare beans and welfare cheese gave out about 10 days before the end of the month. And the school district wanted lesson plans and pretty bulletin boards. I said to hell with that and brought in cereal and milk and plastic spoons. We sat there and slurped our cereal and listened to Ray Charles. They asked me every morning to play Shake, Shake That Thing. I'd always answer, "What'd I say?" They say, "No, you know, the girl with the diamond ring." Ray Charles and the Raylettes. Heaven. So we ate Fruit Loops and listened to Ray on East 116th Street in a school that still had coal heat and a staff that counted the days until retirement. Here's the truth about that game. In a world that has little permanence and less stability, simply showing up every day counted for a lot. How many times they asked, "Are you coming back tomorrow?" We seemed to be moving forward that wonderful year before John and Bobby, Martin and Malcolm got killed dead. I ran an after-school basketball program for the boys and girls. Nobody bothered me because the class behaved. I guess that translated to the class wasn't beating the shit out of the rest of the school anymore. I found the kids attentive and engaged. More importantly, we gave each other our trust, our fears, our hearts, our dreams. It was a March afternoon, and 6 of my kids were absent that day when the assistant principal, spelt P-A-L because he's your pal, looked in through the class door and motioned me for me to come out. Mr. Trubowitz was standing there with two thick detectives from the 34th Precinct, looking bad. They asked me to stay after school and answer a few questions. We sat, and they laid it on me. My boys had thrown a guy off the roof the previous night. Are you insane? Not my guys. Never. Well, never was bullshit. Turns out they did it. Guy was a junkie who liked little kids. My boys weren't high, weren't stoned, weren't anything but mad as hell and not taking that shit anymore. I rode the subway back up to Inwood that afternoon. I was sad, upset, angry, disappointed, pissed off, transformed. Mostly, I decided to stop being such a wise ass. Now, you don't quite say that out loud to yourself, but you sure as hell knew you'd never be the same. You could feel the tectonic plates of your soul shifting under you. Those 6 boys, who would spend the remainder of their teenage years in juvie, left 6 ragged holes in my heart.